What's up, everybody? Good evening. Happy Tuesday night. We're back for episode 2. If you guys loved episode 1 so much, let's rerun it again. So thank you for joining us. We got a new guest tonight as well. We'll bring him on later on, not right now. Gotta keep it a little bit surprised, so you guys stay tuned. But I think everybody will enjoy the guest as well. Mo, how's it going?
I'm good. I'm good. Hey, everybody. Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday night. Um, yeah, no, just reiterating what my partner said. Last week went so well. We decided to give this another go. Review last week's games. Preview this week's upcoming games. Playoffs come right around the picture, so we can kind of see what's going on with everybody.
Yeah, we also had a little trophies presentation last week as well before the game started. We had to celebrate the Rim Reapers winning season 1. It was good to see Saad, Perry, Khalil. Um, who am I missing? I'm missing somebody. It was really nice to see those guys come back. And they stayed around all 4 games to watch all 4 games. So that was pretty nice of them. Um,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
said, uh, yeah, let's get into the games. I know um, we had a couple of close games, a couple of not so close games. I guess we can start with the maybe the last game of the day. Start with the Kingsmen and or the Broadway Hoops Club.
Yep.
Um, I'll let you start on this one.
Yeah. So stats haven't been uploaded, so I'm gonna be looking at the raw sheets myself. Looking at scores. The final score was 13 points. The first half score was only a 4-point difference. I think Broadway Hoops Club, came out really strong after last week's blowout loss. They were looking sharp. Kingsman had been depleted, but their big man came back after hurting his shoulder a few weeks ago. So it's nice to see Mike back and healthy. They had Chima this week. They had Dada this week. Even though Eli, their star guard, only average, I see here, only had like 11 points, and he's been lighting it up. They managed to pull away, and they're a very, very tough team. From the other side, Broadway Hoops Club, they were really they lit up in the second half, man. I'm seeing a bunch of threes
Yeah,
from Nick, from Michelle. Gamal had a few putbacks. Very well spread team, but they just came a little short in the end. It was those turnovers, man. I think it was like a series of like 3 or 4 in a row, which really did it for them.
yeah. Um, I think Chima coming back was big for them, um, as well as Mr. Extendo. That's his name on the back jersey. I forgot
Yep.
his. That's what he goes by. Um,
Yeah.
he didn't have a big game, but his presence on the court, he brings size to the court, his length, ability to rebound, and Chima as well. He does everything on the court for them except for shoot. And everything he does is so well that it takes that stress off for the rest of the teammates to handle the ball, rebound. You know, so but like you said, Broadway didn't. The Hoops Club didn't back down at all. Um, I think they were on a. They had a 2-game winning streak. Lost a hard one last week. But they came out strong. They shot pretty well. Akshay got back into his shooting groove. Um, it was a little off last week, and I mean, Hoops Club proved themselves. Like, they're a team to the team that you can't sleep on. Basically, doesn't matter if it's
Yeah.
D3 or D4 who they're playing. Um, they're not going to die easy.
100%.
So as far as the Kingsmen, um, their leader wasn't there, but they
Yeah.
got back in the winning ways. Manu
Yeah.
showed up. He was there, you know, kind of was the voice of the team. And everybody else, they did what they're good at. Eli, Soto, they handled their business. They drove to the basket, they shot the ball, um, and it was a good win for them. It was a close game. Uh, perimeter defense could have been a little bit better, but they did their thing. And, you know, the 12 points seems like a lot, but it wasn't really that much. Um, it was a pretty tight game throughout. So
Yeah, yeah, no, and to your point, they lost 2 in a row, so they snapped their losing streak, and then, like, I see here, like, the Hoops Club lost 2 weeks ago, so now they're in a little slump, but Kingsmen remain on top, man, so they're looking
yeah,
well even though depleted, they're staying on top.
so they are 4-2 right now. I think they're
Yep,
probably in second place in the D3 division right now.
yep,
But hey, 4 more games to go, guys. You
yeah,
know, a
a
lot
lot
can
of ball
change.
left.
Yeah, almost half the season still. So
Mhm,
um, this is the time when you figure out who your lineups are, get those attendance, to get those games in, um, and just see what the best combination of players is. To start, come off the bench and stuff like that. So uh, overall, entertaining game.
mhm.
I think the next game, probably the second highest scoring. No, I think it was the highest scoring game. I think
The
in the
what,
history of Fast Break.
the
Free
Bullets
Smoke,
crash. Oh, Free Smoke, okay.
Free Smoke versus High Q. Um, over what is that? 80%, 150, 161 points scored. A
Yeah,
lot of points in a 40-minute game.
in a 40-minute game, yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a
Offensive
lot.
explosion.
Um, but we can't talk about this game without, the leader, the fearless leader, the defensive voice, um, you know, the epitome of Free Smoke, the captain, Smiley. So I'm going to bring on the captain right now. Uh, he's been
Yes.
patiently waiting. So
You hear me? We in here?
hold on, hold
We
on.
are.
There you
What's
are.
up,
Yes,
my
There
guy?
you
sir.
are.
What's going on, fellas?
No
What's up,
basketball tonight?
Smiley?
Today, nah, no basketball today, man. I'm dead right now.
Hey, you got. By the way, I saw Smiley last night, repping his game.
Yeah, that was a good surprise.
Yeah, he's like, man, you
Smiley riding amok in
W.
another leagues, huh?
Nah, them back-to-back days, man. They be killing me.
He's in unfamiliar grounds in the other league. He's 0-2, so he's like, man, you gotta hook me up with the W here.
Yeah. I went on him to the side. I was like, yo, so we need this one, man. Because
Hey,
not
man,
every
you
team
guys.
makes the playoffs, so
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
not trying to get
yeah,
eliminated.
Man, what's up with that? It's not cool. But
Yeah,
different
but
animal.
we'll let other leagues do what they do.
yeah. New
But
league. I just tried it out.
listen, let's talk about your game first. Um, very high scoring game, like I told you during the interview. Um, Haikyuu never died. They just kept on
Nah.
pushing and pushing. Um, compared to the last 2 weeks where you guys had blowout wins pretty much more than halfway through the game. Um, what did Haikyuu present this game that you guys weren't expecting as a team that took you by
Honestly,
surprise?
we were expecting it. We knew they can shoot. That team can shoot and they can catch fire. It's like three of them, I believe. Jamil, Ani, and Zayn.
Hmm.
Them boys is lethal beyond the arc. And it's such a quick release too. You can't really stop it. And that's what kept them in the game. I feel like we was up double digits like 3, 4 times in that game. They just kept cutting into it, cutting into it, cutting into it. And then I believe that technical foul, that's what almost turned it around. I think they had made both free throws. Then they scored a layup. They was down 4 points, and I was just like, "Oh man!" So yeah, that team. You blink your eyes, you behind in the scoreboard.
Um, you're absolutely right. Multiple double-digit leads, and they kept on fighting back. Was there something about their defense that stopped you guys from scoring for those short spurts throughout the game that allowed them to come back in?
Yeah,
Or was it,
for I think for the most part they were going zone, and then once they switched to man, that's when we had a little like difficult time adjusting to it, because they seemed like they were gonna go zone the whole game, and we had found it. We just kept going to the middle, kicking it out, just moving the ball around. But then once they went man, we had to figure
yeah.
something else out. So that right there.
Um, Speaking of free smoke, it's your second season in the league. You guys lost a heartbreak your last season in the semifinals.
Yeah.
Revamped the team this season. You brought Khaled played one game last season to fill in. You brought Khaled back. and then you brought John back as a new player on the team. But we know John from other places, of course. What does
Yeah.
John bring to this team that you guys were missing last season?
He just knows how to run the floor good, and he's a selfless player. He loves the game, you can tell, and he does his role. He just knows what to do. We played with him in Massapequa. We won a chip with him, so we got some history together. We got some chemistry, so it's just easy. When we brought him here, it just literally one game into it, we were good.
It's like plugging in a piece, like plugging in a piece that's,
Yeah,
piece of the
exactly.
puzzle, right?
Oh yeah, John, he was huge for us. We knew we needed him. We wanted him last season, but it was a bit of a drive for him. So, but then this season he was like, you know what, I can do it. It was a little bit more flexible, his schedule, and then we were just glad to have him in.
Okay. Um, Khaled, I was talking to last season. He was getting back into the role of playing basketball and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
is he back into basketball shape? Because he played with you last night also. He looked pretty good playing a lot of minutes last night too.
No, yeah. I
Um,
mean, for the most part, he's coming into it, but he's been playing basketball for years. He played in the college level, D3, D2, so I can
okay.
tell it's a little frustrating for him not playing at that level he once was at, but it was years ago. But
So, I mean, Mo,
I mean, look, let's get to it, Smiley. 36 points, 8 rebounds, 3 steals, filling up the stat sheet. I think this season you're really coming on strong, bro. You guys won 3 in a row. This was
yeah.
definitely a big statement game. What are you doing differently this season, than last? Like, what's the switch up? This wasn't the same Smiley from last season.
No, I mean, I feel like it's obvious. We lost the best scorer on the team. So we was missing that. We knew we had to step it up next season. We were missing a scorer that was scoring almost 28 a game. So, Ike was huge for us last year, but
Yeah.
yeah.
it was just we just knew we all had to step it up this season if we wanted to compete to make up for those missing points.
I mean, look, it's not even, shout out to the rest of your guys. I see Alex here stuffing the stat sheet 10 rebounds, 7 assists. He was flirting with a triple double last week. Gio always crashing hard. You guys give it your all every game. I
Right.
guess for you, it's like you guys are running through everybody. This was a close contest, but it's like I think you guys are able to take that next year. You think it's like getting comfortable in the leagues. You've been playing for a few seasons now. You get familiar with the gym. What's the game plan for you guys going in and out? How do you guys come into the game? Do you guys have like a particular plan based on the opponent, or you guys have like a set offense kind of ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this season we're looking more at the bigger picture. Like we took last season for granted. We came up short in the semifinals. We were very disappointed. So it's like this season we just want to win. We don't really care about the stats. We just all want to just play hard. Like you said, G-Lo, he's killing out there. Alex filling up the stat sheet. I think leading assist leader in the league. Then we got Damian, he's big on the boards. It's just we all as a collective, we're all doing what we're supposed to do this year. So we're just really looking at the bigger picture. We're trying to remain humble, and we're just trying to remind ourselves this is a team game. We can't win with one person. So let's move that rock and let's just get to business. Let's handle it.
Yeah.
Um, I want to ask you, how does it feel playing with your brother?
Man, it's great, man. Who doesn't want to play with their brother? But
Does it? I
honestly, man,
mean,
all these guys is my brothers. I grew up with
no, of
Alex,
course.
Damien, so it's just like I basically knew those guys my whole life. So, it's
Uh,
fun playing with us because it's like,
yeah.
we all grown now, so we all got our own lives. So we mainly see each other there. So, it's good to regroup and everything.
Do you pull out that older brother card on your little brother on the
No,
court?
that he's the older brother.
Oh, he's the older one.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
okay.
makes
It's
it
the beard
older
that
one,
makes me look older. That's it.
What's the age difference?
He's 33. I'm 29, so 4 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. Uh, it
Yeah.
must be the beard then. So I
No,
gotta
no, yeah,
make sure
I'm
he
pretty
keeps
sure.
you in check next time then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, now Moody's the older
But
brother.
but yeah. So like you said, I wanted to ask more about yourself. So you guys know these, you guys as a team know each other pretty well. How long have you guys been playing organized ball, um, in general?
Well, I think we all started. Well, I don't know if we all started, but we used to play in the junior Knicks at a very young age.
At the YMCA.
Yeah, so we was like very familiar with it. So we had all these like programs around us, and we just all joined. I think Alex played a lot of CYO. I think maybe Damien played a lot of high school basketball. So we all have a lot of organized basketball experience.
And your brother also coaches, right? If I'm not
Yeah, yeah,
mistaken.
yeah. He coaches for his high school team. Actually, I think they won like 3 chips in a row now.
That's pretty
So
dope.
you see
Nice.
where that passion comes from.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, I know.
he
I heard
told me
Khalid
on
used to
Saturday
play
he
like
got
he
talked
was
yesterday.
nice.
Me, nah, I mean, I played high school ball. That was the highest I went. So, but we used to join leagues back like in 2018. That's how we came up with Free Smoke. And then we took a little
Okay.
break. Yeah, we took a little break, and then Damien had reached back out to us saying, "Yo, we know this league in Massapequa." I think the beginning of this year, and then that's how I met Mo and everybody. So I really started playing
So,
basketball again this year. So
a lot of people might not know, but Smiley and Moody, they used to live right across the street from me. The parents still live there.
yeah,
So I've known them, I guess, since he was 12, because I moved back here like 15, 16 years ago.
yeah,
So,
that's when we had the
so you
deli.
guys were just in middle school and going to high school. Yeah.
Yeah.
So where did the nickname come from? From your dad's deli?
Yeah, that's from Smiley's. Yeah, it was called Smiley's A1
Okay.
Deli. So everybody just,
Yep.
but Moody, that was always his nickname. I think like my grandma back home, like in Egypt, gave it to him or something. So that always stuck with him. So, and everybody just passed Smiley on to me, and I was just like, you know what, whatever, let me just wear it.
Oh, I thought they named the store after you, but they called
No,
you.
It's
no, no, no.
it's
My dad is the OG Smiley.
Okay. Nice, nice. That's
he's the
what's up,
senior,
bro.
you're the junior. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Listen, I know you in your car, obviously. You got time to stick around to talk about the other two games, or you need
yeah.
to
Yeah,
go?
let's do it, man. I'd love to give out my
All
opinion. I
right.
know you
So let's
guys
go
don't
to
want to
the.
give out your opinions. I, I'll give mine out.
Well, we can. We got to keep it political, right? So, but
No,
you
no, I
don't have to.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's move on to the
What?
next game. Uh, whatever you like. We can talk about the crash outs.
Let's do
That
it.
should be an
What's the
easy
crash
one.
out bullets?
Yes, sir. First
Yeah.
game of the day. So,
Yeah.
um, I mean, this is what we expected from the crash house when they're fully rostered. Um, Carl's back. Nick was back this week, and they had a 9-man roster this week. Guys coming off the bench, keeping their legs fresh. Ray looked great out there. Um, Bullets were shorthanded. Didn't have Charlie this week. Or Chris. Chris didn't have Chris this week.
Christian, yeah.
Um, and this is probably the first time I've seen a lot of frustration out of the Bullets. I don't. They haven't faced someone like Carl and Nick together yet this season, so you can see the frustration, especially when the shots weren't dropping and stuff like that. And they look lost on defense as well. So, but I wouldn't say this was my expected score, 23-point win, but I thought it'd be a little bit closer. Um, what about you, Mo?
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely with Nick and Carl, crash outs are a different team. Their baseline is just so much higher. And you can see, like, this was a chip team, right? They went to the finals last year. Um, I think from the other side, even with Chris missing, honestly, it was a good game. The second half, the first half was only like 11-point difference. I think Goldie, he started off slow. E started off slow. In the second half, you can see like they have their numbers kind of pulling up there. But really, I think that frustration, the captain Ali, I think it just built up a little bit. I know he recognized it too. It just that technical man. He was sitting on the bench, and then that lead just got bigger and bigger, and it's hard to come back. But all in all, Crash Yards are a tough team. Bullets, to their own extent in their own division have been killing it. I think this is their worst loss of the season. Granted, they're understaffed, but you got to play with who you got. But Smiley, what you think, man? You played these teams yet?
Yeah, I've played Bullet, but we've played both these teams shorthanded. They were both shorthanded. I think when we played Bullets, they were missing Goldie and
Okay.
Chris, I believe it
Okay.
was. So that's like, that was two important players for them.
Yeah.
And also crash outs. I don't think we've ever played Carl and Nick together in both seasons. So
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah,
Uh,
so it's a little. I
Yeah.
I I really
Anticipation.
want to see. I really want to play against both of them together. You never want to play with a team that's shorthanded. It's just you want the whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
yeah. Um, but this was the 9 o'clock game, so Bullets were they were late a little bit. Goldie didn't show up till like 4 or 5 minutes into the game, so a lot of
Yeah.
guys weren't warmed up properly. But second half, like you said, they warmed up. They brought it down to I think 6 or 7 points, and that's when things got a little bit out of hand.
Yeah.
Um, you know, one of the players thought a couple of travels weren't called. You know, used some foul language, got teed up. You know, you got to keep your emotions in check. You know, can't get too riled up and cost your team that momentum because the momentum was shifting towards the Bullets a little bit, in my opinion. But after that, and they brought it down to single digits. So it was
Yeah.
just, I didn't understand the thought process of lashing out at that time. But
Yeah.
hopefully it's a learning experience. It doesn't happen again. But overall, I mean, it's good to see crash outs at 2-4 now.
Yeah.
Um, and it's nice to see the whole team back. So
Yeah.
Yeah, for
um,
sure.
I know a lot of guys were like, "Yo, they're 0-4, kick them out of the D3. They don't belong there." I'm like, just give them time. Wait till
Yeah.
Carl back.
Nah, yeah, they're really a different team with Carl, man.
Yeah.
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 Shout out to them for real.
Yeah. I mean, look, man,
Uh,
Bullets they won three in a row. They snapped this streak, right? And then crash outs on the other end now have managed to win two in a row, right? So Carl definitely changes the whole, the team dynamic is different. I look at
Yeah,
the
for
numbers.
sure.
He's not even a big man. He grabbing out. He had 18 rebounds. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
that's tough. I didn't even see
That
that.
yeah,
Wow.
bro, that ain't no joke. 8 assists. And we know he lock up on the perimeter anyway, right? He's arguably one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. So something to look forward to when you guys play. I'm surprised you guys didn't play each other last season.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think Nick was on the team yet. That was the big man,
okay,
I
oh, it
believe.
was
right
in
in
the
the
beginning,
beginning
So
of
right,
the
he
right, right.
was,
season.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, okay.
Um, Bullets, you guys got to show up full roster. Um, every week, a piece is missing. Uh,
9 games is tough.
you guys had the playoff dates. I've shared it multiple times. Get your vacations out of the way. Don't book no vacations. Um, make sure everyone's there for the playoffs because I don't want to see any team short staffed,
Yeah,
especially your top tier players. So I want to see best five versus the best five. That's all I'm asking for. You know, but yeah, this game better. Once again, the score doesn't reflect how close it was with 10 minutes ago. So we'll just leave it at that. Moving on to the last game of the day, it was Bayside Wolves versus Off Ball.
yeah.
Um, second game of the day? I think it was second game of the day, right? Or
Yep,
third?
10 o'clock game. Yep, second
Yeah,
game.
10 o'clock game. I think, Smile, you probably caught the end part of this game. You guys
Yeah.
played at 11, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
watched majority of this game right here.
yeah, why don't you start off? Go ahead.
I mean, to be honest, I was a little surprised, especially because of like the how much they was up by when I was watching. I thought the score was flipped, to be honest. I don't And then but shout out to Off Ball, man. They play hard. They really do. Especially when they're on, everybody's together. So, but it was, it was a surprising game. I didn't expect them to beat them by that much.
Um,
But then again, I
Gene,
think Wolves were missing somebody.
Wolves are
Yeah,
missing Kevin.
I
they were
think they're
missing Kevin.
guards. Yeah, they point guard. Yeah. So
Yeah,
he's tough, that guard.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, so
Um,
that was a big piece missing.
like Smiley said, man, awful. Defensively, they come every week. But this week they bought the offense also. Um, Rob was there. Gene came back. I think it's the second game of the season. I think. which is a huge perimeter threat. You know, he'll shoot no matter what. Um,
Yeah.
Other guys on the team sometimes give up those open threes and they pass it around. Um, Gene on both sides of the ball, rebounding, shooting. He was that third piece they need, that third player they need to round out the starting five. To make a difference. They got Jose, right?
Yeah.
Shooting guard, and then Gene. And I think with those three, the other players fall more under the radar and they play more loose in that sense.
Yeah. They feed
And they're
off of them.
able, yeah, and they're able to be more productive
Yeah.
when the spotlight's not on them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because they just when you have the top three defenders from another team or zone focus on the Jose and Rob, the other guys can be play more loose to shoot the ball and have more fun in that sense. But like I said, I mean Bayside, it was a close game. Um, Anthony, this dude be hitting 26-foot threes like it's nothing, 25
Yeah.
foot threes.
NBA regulation threes.
Yo,
That
nothing but
dude
net
killed
too.
us. He
Yeah.
killed
Nothing
us,
but net,
Yeah.
man.
bro. Mr. Reyes had an off game, which is a
Yeah.
lot to have. I don't think
Yeah.
he scored his first points until like 10 minutes left.
Yeah,
Um,
man. His first bucket was like in this. He had two buckets, granted, both in the
Nah,
second
your
half.
off ball plays good defense. If you realize a lot of the teams that played them, they score very low. Whether they win or
Yeah.
lose, it's a very low scoring game. So shout out to off ball, man. They play
when
they
I saw
they
that,
put defense first.
yeah, when I saw that Awful was playing man, that Rob Avi matchup was nice to look at. And it looked like Rob won this battle. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, Rob
it
is
was
super tough, man. Shout out
Yeah.
to
yeah,
him.
and he's bringing a different intensity this season as well.
I try to
Um,
recruit him on the low.
Uh,
Showing a lot more emotion on the court compared to last season. Like he really, really hates losing. Um, and he shows it, tells his team, you got to buckle up. That's the kind of leadership you need. Keep everyone in check, make sure they're doing their thing, and, you know, make sure everyone falls in line. So,
He said he sent those screenshots, Smiley.
yeah.
Yeah, he
what you got to
loyal,
say?
man. I give it to him. He loyal.
Listen, man. It's he's just feeling the love, right? That's all.
Nah, yeah, man.
I mean, look,
All,
man. I
all
think
balls are
I
great.
don't know. Bayside. I don't know, man. It's how much is that? That's three in a row. I think their last win. It could have been against you guys, Smiley. To be honest.
Or the
But
Wolves.
that,
Yeah, it could
yeah,
be.
yeah. I mean, that was one of the. Ever since then. I mean, granted they're missing Kevin, but still the score.
Yeah,
I think we all were surprised, but I do want to give off ball their flowers. I think this is Jose's best game of the season. I know he's been in like a little bit of a rut. He came off really strong. Rob always gives it, whether he's scoring or not. He's always out there. You can see the intensity. It looked like he took that matchup personally, right? And I think Bayside Wolves gotta turn this season around. Maybe I was too high on them too early, and they got to prove me wrong now. But yeah, this was a crazy score. Not what I I don't think any of us would have thought the final score would have been this bad or this lopsided.
No, absolutely not. And after that devastating heartbreaking loss last week, I thought
Mm,
Bayside, I mean, I assumed everybody would be there, but not having Kevin there, you know, they were missing a big chunk of their offense. So, like I said, all these teams, if they come fully rostered, um, the disparity is so minimal between the teams. I think the playoff matchups, even 1 versus 4, it's not that big of a difference at all whatsoever in either division.
nah, not at
So
all.
just because you were number 4 seed, just because you were number 1 seed, don't be too low on yourself and don't be too high on yourself.
yeah.
Because,
Can't
you
get
know,
comfortable, man.
yeah,
Listen,
you
man, it's
know,
one game.
you will
One
be
game.
humbled very quickly in
Yeah,
40
yeah,
minutes.
Yo,
yeah.
actually, I do. Actually, I do. I do believe in off ball. Listen, off ball snapped their 3-game losing streak, and you know what? They sent Bayside Wolves on a 3-game losing streak. So you know, when
Hey,
one domino
Ash,
falls,
this is for Ash. Go sign Rob to a long-term contract before Smiley gets here.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
he a hot
better.
commodity right now.
So,
He was just
eh,
after him for sure.
but before before we move on to next week's games, Smiley, did you get a chance to see the trophies? That
No, I didn't.
oh, you didn't get a chance to see them? I posted them online. I'm not sure if we
Yeah.
have the graphic up or not, but yeah. So we were able to do the presentation for the rim routines. I posted it on the gram. Um, but if we have the graphic, we'll put it up later. So, um, but if we don't, we can just move on to next week's games. Um, where should we start next week? Let's see. We'll keep free smoke till later, so Smiley don't leave. Um,
I'm good. We
you
here.
know, let's start with Bayside Wolves again. Um, it's the first time playing the last game of the day. So if you don't know, a lot of Bayside guys they work overnight, they work in the restaurant industry. So they like that early morning game because they're already up. They want to come, go back home and sleep. So they're playing the Bullets this week. Bullets versus Bayside Wolves. Um, I'm assuming Bullets will have all their guys since it's a noon game. They'll get their beauty sleep in, come refreshed. Um, Mo, what do you expect this game?
Oof. I think I don't know. Hopefully, I haven't seen Bayside Wolves play a late game, but to your point, they always seem a little tired in the early games, so maybe they'll be well rested. I think a fully rostered Bullets team, if both teams show up to play, I I can see this going either way. Bullets have
Yeah,
they
that
had a
could
tough
be the
loss.
game of the day right there.
Yeah, and I think that's it's like they both have a lot. They both got a lot to prove. They both have lost last week, so they're gonna come back hungry. We just got to see who wants it more. Can Javi turn it back around and give us a Javi performance? You know what I mean? Will Kevin come back? And then from the other side, you know, um, if Chris is there, we need a typical Goldie night, a double double, 15 and 10. We need E to hit some threes. We need Ali to light it up. Sati grabbing the rebound. So I don't know. This is the premium, game time right here.
It's a prime time slot,
Yeah.
12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Um, what about you, Smiley? What do you think? You,
No,
you
yeah,
can
like
give
I
us
said, I
you
think
can
it's
give
gonna
us
be the
predictions. You're allowed to give predictions.
yeah, no, I think it's gonna be the play of the day. Who I think is gonna win, I truly do not know. Cause I feel like both teams, if they show up, is gonna go right down to the wire. I feel like they match up perfectly too. They both have the size, they got the guards.
All
But
right.
like I said, they both have to show up though, the whole
Yeah.
team.
If
Yeah.
Smiley not giving a prediction, then you know it's gonna be a close game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it is. And trust me, I'm gonna be honest with everything.
Yeah,
So, but
I know.
that yeah, I truly believe it's gonna be a close
Hey,
game.
that's why we got you on here.
Yeah.
Um, let's talk about the first game of the day: Crash Outs versus IQ. Um, I'll let you start, Smiley. Go ahead.
I mean, yo, that's another good game right there.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's a
yo, high
two and
Q with
four,
that, high
two and
Q with
four
that
team
three
versus 4-2
ball.
team. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
high Q with that three ball. You just they can't stay out the game. So if they hit in that, then there's gonna be a problem for the crash outs.
well,
I mean, look, I think Hassan had like 8-3 last week. Zayn and Ani both get. I think it's just hard for IQ because living and dying by three is tough. I think they need point guard always to go to the rack a little bit more. He gets his, but when he goes in there, dimes and dishes, it really expands their team. Crash outs, look, man, Carl and Nick. I don't know what more could be said. You know what I mean? If they show up to play, I think it's you know, Haiku got to play a good game. Make sure they don't turn the ball over, get good looks. Because on the other side, Nick's gonna get his that midi or that paint game is always automatic. Carl just disrupts everything on the defensive side. He runs the
yeah,
fast break really well. Everybody works off of them. So I'm looking to see, it's really on I don't want to put a lot of pressure on the point guard, but a waste to come in the game, set the tone early. He always gets his steals and assists, but I want him to get some more buckets. And that way we could see what's possible. What about you?
it's gonna be interesting to see how Aways. I know, like he likes to cut to the middle, use the paint a lot on his drives to the basket. does that underhand reverse layup a lot. It's gonna be interesting how he does that against Nick, someone who's what 6'6", big body
Yeah.
like that. He doesn't really shoot from the outside a lot, so that'll be interesting. And to see who's gonna cover Ani on the perimeter. You know, if they
Yeah.
go into zone, Ani's gonna find his spots to get open.
Yeah.
And if he's hot, he's hot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just straight up nothing but net all day. So I think that's because if you take Nick out off the from the paint, then Always can do his thing and drop his basket. And one on one, I think he's one of the top better one on one players in the league. If you're gonna go
Hmm.
man against him, so
Yeah.
that'll be interesting matchups over there. So um, those are the X factors basically.
Yeah.
But but I'll leave it at that, like usual. Um, let's talk about your game next. Free smoke. What do you expect from your opponents this week? You saw them play last week a little bit.
Yeah,
What's the
Broadway
scouting report?
hoops. They play hard, man. We can't sleep on them. Actually, I'm gonna call them the upset of the week
Cavs.
alert.
Oh,
I'm
sad.
gonna
Look
give
at
it to them,
this.
man. Yo, I really feel like they can pull it off. Shout out to Broadway hoops. They play hard, and they don't stop
What?
playing hard. You'll see them down 15, and then all of a sudden it's a 2 point game. So you
Hmm.
really can't sleep on that team right there. They're really
Man, you
getting it
didn't even
together
say
with
that
their
with a
stuff.
straight face. Stop.
No, no. Since the start of the season, they've been getting it together. You can tell they've been
What's the
playing more together.
What's the game plan? You want to share or you want to save it for the game day?
I mean, I don't want to say too much, but we all missing an important piece that day, so it's
Oh,
good. It's gonna
okay,
be tough. It's gonna be tough.
okay, okay. I mean,
We
listen.
definitely we definitely can't take it lightly. Like we said, we just gonna go in there, play our ball, and
Yeah.
whatever the outcome is, that's the outcome.
Okay.
Um, Broadway hoops. I think a player that goes, you know, without a lot of praise on that team is James. Um, uh, if you guys don't know who James is, go look at a few of their games. He does everything for them. Um, he had a nice assist last week um, underneath the basket. Rebounds, shoots, everything. When he's on the court, that team moves. No one's just standing around. You know, he's a very big X factor for that team. So, but
Is
um,
that the big guy or is that the guard?
It's, it's the big man. Yeah. I think he's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
no,
he's
yeah,
like
zero.
a
it's tough.
small forward. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
um, he has pretty good IQ on the court too. Like you
Yeah, he
don't see
got
him.
good foot movement too.
Yeah, you don't see him committing a lot of turnovers. Good court vision. He's quiet. He lets his play do all the talk. Um,
My brother said, "What's the spread on each game?"
Yo, we take parlays next season. We open that up for next season. I mean,
hey, that's something, if you want to do a weekly spread, we could let you do that. We're not the experts on that. So like I said, we're not doing spreads, but if one of you guys want to do spreads, we're more than happy to. But it's
That's
extra
gonna rig. That's
motivation.
gonna rig the games. We just
uh,
leave that out of it, man.
the refs gonna get
Hey,
involved.
Yeah.
that's extra motivation for the underdogs. But
Yeah.
I think, listen, this goes for every team. If 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 you hit your shots when you're open, if the guys who are supposed to hit their shots when they're open hit their shots, even if they shoot 40%, the game will be a lot closer than you know it should be. Let's put it that way. But um, you know, some teams just are up and down each week. Broadway had two wins in a row. Last week they played a tough game. This 2 weeks ago they played a tough game. Last week even a tougher game, which went back and forth. So this is the true test of what Broadway is made of. You know what I mean? Against Free Smoke, the number one team. So this will show me a lot going forward and what I could expect out of Broadway in the playoffs. I mean, what do you think about that, Mo?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think you guys kind of said it. They play hard. I think just the only thing, it's similar to kind of Haikyuu. It's like they live in and down by the three. They rely a lot on Akshay to kind of hit those like threes, and he does a good job. But it's all about paint touches, to be honest with me. Like that's why I think teams like Free Smoke, like Crash Outs, like the more experienced seasoned guys, they know how to get like the high efficiency looks. I mean, man, Free Smoke. If a team plays zone, I know where everybody's gonna go. There's spots they're cutting, they're curling. They get into the rack, they're playing that baseline well. And the three will fall, but even if it doesn't, they have the looks like the layups. I want to see Broadway kind of touch the paint more. I think they have the guys to do it. James, Gamal had a few layups last week. I think even Nick is one of the underrated. Nick hit like three threes last week in a row. He's the one that kind of spurred that little momentum burst. And that's all fine, but I want to see them, run the break enough, put his head down, go to the rack, kind of honestly just play free smoke basketball, and see who ends up doing a better job of doing that. But it's really for me, it's like whoever touches the paint more. I think that's whoever I'm gonna give the edge to.
It's gonna
Okay.
be a fun game.
Yeah,
Um, moving on. Final game of the day. I'll start it off. Kingsman versus Off-Ball. This is your typical offense versus defense kind of game. Who's going to come out on top? Will it be a low scoring game where Off-Ball can keep them in check and possibly pull out an upset? Or will Kingsman, you know, run up and down the court and force Off-Ball to try to keep up with them on offense? It's one of those kind of games, in my opinion. Um, Once again, will Kingsman have all their guys again, like they did last week? So that's the X factor no one knows about. So um, Eli, Soto, they're usually there. They haven't missed any games. Will Chima show up? Um, so I think with Alpha, will Gene be there? Pablo was missing last week. That's a big piece.
yeah.
Defensively and rebounding wise, he's a good 15 rebounds a game, maybe more. Um, so we'll see if Alpha size um, in the paint will give Kingsman the ability, you know, to penetrate and get those easy layups and stuff like that. So, what about you, Smiley?
I think Kingsman should take care of business if everybody shows up on their team. That's a tough team. I'm gonna be honest with you. They play defense. They got young boys, man. They motors don't stop. Like they're
Yeah.
just
Oh, you're
attacking,
not old.
attacking,
Come on now.
attacking. You can't like take a playoff with that team. And we played them the first game of the season, and they caught us off guard, and it was just like, oh yeah, this is the team right here.
And you haven't hit your 30s yet. Stop.
Huh? I got one more year, man. But the boys is young. They like 21, 22 years old. It's a
I
difference,
think some of those
man.
guys, yeah, they just hit 20, bro.
It's a big difference. It's not like,
Babies.
yeah. And I'm the
Even that.
youngest guy on my team, so it's tough out there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'll take experience over youth any day.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
We know how to play them this time around.
Mm.
What you think about what you looking forward to this game?
I mean, look, I want to see Off-Ball do it twice. I want to see Jose, Rob, these guys, Gene, play another good game. Um, I think their last season they played with us for the first time playing org ball, and they came out the gate smooth. This season a little bit of a hiccup, but you
I
know,
did that.
uh,
I did that just for you, man. I needed to give you the same type of motivation.
uh, listen,
Clip this,
Ash,
please.
listen, put this chip on your shoulder, fam. But if they could do it again, I could see them pulling away with it. But it's Kingsman. I think their captain, their coach, their leader has been doing a good job. He's been a captain for a long time in a lot of different leagues. He knows what he's doing. He made a really good team. He contributes his own ways. He gets his buckets, gets his steals, but he's their voice on the floor. Um, so let's see. I definitely want to see Alpha do it again, but I feel like Kingsmen have been around. They're a well experienced team. They look like they played together already outside of this league, and the results are showing.
Yeah. Like you said about off ball, consistency is key. Um, they've had some great wins and they've had some really bad losses when they shouldn't have lost.
Hmm.
So they had a big win against Crash Outs early in the year, big win last week against Bayside.
Hmm.
But you got to be consistent,
Yeah.
and that's the main factor. I know they made semifinals last year, and they were like 1 or 2 baskets away from making the finals. So we know they're capable of doing that.
Yeah.
So, but you got to execute on the court. Um, but yeah, that's about it. Um, so 4 games this week. Um, uh, I want to apologize to Crash House about last week. I don't know why the second half didn't get reported. Um, you know, that's what you had. That's what happens when technology gets involved. But um, we'll try to do better this week. But speaking of last week again, I think we have the trophy um, that I was speaking of. So,
Oh
we try
wow,
to
that's
be
the trophy right there.
Yeah.
different at Fast Break
Okay,
Basketball. Um,
it's tough.
you know, this took about 3 weeks to get in, and it was in my possession. And it took about 3 weeks to get Rim Reapers to show up and pick up the trophy as well. But yeah, custom made team trophies with the team name, each player's name. Um, you know, I feel like it should be personalized. Not one of those generic basketball trophies. That look like participation trophies that are handed out at championship games. Um, that you could pick up at the dollar store. Um, so you might not have it when you win, but you will get something that's worth the wait, in my opinion. So I hope everyone, on Rim Reapers enjoys it. Hope they felt like it was worth the wait. And this is what everyone in D2 and D3 has to look forward to playing for. Um, Besides being called champions, you get a personalized trophy like this with your team logo or however you want to design it. So just wanted to share this with everybody. Uh, so I know a lot of guys didn't get a chance to see it, so it's probably the first time looking at it. So
Yeah, man. Shout out Fast Break, man. Very quality league. Pay
I
attention to
appreciate the love.
detail. There's a lot of stuff like added into it. Like it's one of the. It's honestly the best league I've been in, to be honest. Just because of all
Appreciate
the
it,
small details you put
See,
into it.
I'm
So
I'm gonna clip
shout out
that
Fast
now.
Break.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead,
Put
man.
that as a header, for the intro
Right
video.
here, right here. I feel like I'm in the league for real. So Hey, yo,
But
Mo, put them stats up tonight, man.
Yo, I got you right after this call, baby. I got you.
Nah, I'm playing with you. Nah, I appreciate y'all,
Yeah.
man.
I love
No,
it when
listen,
you
man.
guys, right after the game's over, they're heading over to Mo's table. Like,
Yeah, let me
those
take a
game
picture. Let me
stats.
take a picture. I mean, listen, if I'm smiling, I want to see my stats too, bro. 36-8, no joke. Yo, listen, you my front runner right now for MVP, Brody. So
Yeah,
you're doing a good job, bro. Keep it up. I'm
I,
serious,
I
bro.
I gotta blame you, man. You took away 2 points from me like 2 weeks ago.
Yo,
I
I'm never
texted
gonna hear
Mo.
the end of
It's
it.
funny. I texted Mo. I said I guess I gotta go for 40 next week, and I had
Yeah,
4 points
he
short
was
from that.
close. Listen, bro, we got the text to prove it. He about it. So I will say, who you play, Broadway Hoops? Yeah, better
Yeah,
watch out.
brother. Hoops.
Yeah, I better watch out. Watch the tape, And if anybody want to watch a good game of basketball, I want to say last week, I think was y'all last best week ever. Y'all look like the Spurs.
Yeah,
I think I
freak.
seen
Yeah,
Dame
yeah,
throw
yeah.
like 8 behind the back, no look passes.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
y'all
bro.
was
Yeah, those was
smooth.
crazy, man.
Yeah,
Damian was a
whatever
hell
was
of a
in the air
passer.
that year,
And
that
shout out to
day,
Damian. He in here right now. But yeah,
no
man, he was
facts.
throwing. He had eyes behind his
Nice.
back that day.
Yeah.
Nah, but
So
we really tried to like go into that playoff mode against Haiku. We knew like it was a perfect test with them. So
yeah.
we didn't even want to shoot the 3-point ball the first half. We just wanted everything to the basket.
Mm,
So it works.
yeah. No,
So moving forward, you might
that's
see
the
a
game
lot
plan.
more of that.
I know Smiley
Love it.
earlier was talking about the shooters on the bullets with the quick release. I mean, Smiley got one of the quick releases I've seen.
Facts.
Um, it's like flick of the wrist kind of thing. You don't even think about it. And he was
Right.
knocking it down last night. Nothing but net.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
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 Okay.
You know what's crazy? So they put me down for 9 points yesterday.
Dude, he
I
had
don't.
like 9 at halftime.
I'm trying to tell you, man, that scorekeeper was sleeping.
Like,
Oh,
listen,
yes.
we spoiled you by having Mo as our scorekeeper, my man. So,
Nah, that
you
scorekeeper
know,
was sleeping,
that just
man.
shows you appreciate Mo even more.
Yeah,
Mo
yeah,
even
no,
more.
for real. No, I definitely appreciate more, even more.
And he be
That's
watching
Yo,
football.
Mary.
Listen, he be watching the London games on his phone, but he don't miss nothing though.
Yo,
yeah,
so
no,
that
for
shit
sure.
put me on blast. I wish, man.
No,
My
the
game be
reason
streaming.
the
It's
reason I
great.
say that,
I'm running to the stat sheet. I'm looking at my stats. I'm like, wait, hold on, 9 points. That's how
the
do
reason I say that because he was watching the games last night, and Smiley's
Oh,
like, "No
was
wonder
he?
you put so
That's
much stuff."
mad funny. Yo, that's my guy. That's my boy, you know. So I'll let him know.
Now we got the
But
win, man. That's all that matters.
yeah, I mean, bro, listen, game by game, right? Take it a game by game. It looks like that's what y'all doing, and y'all doing a good job. Yeah, communicating. Yeah, playing the game plan right. The results speak for themselves. So I think the league got to catch up to you guys' discipline because y'all looking really sharp right now.
We appreciate it. Now we just gonna stay
Yeah.
humble, man. We just gonna push forward and let our game speak.
Smiley, final thoughts. Anything you want to talk about or say?
Uh, Not really, too. I feel like we've discussed everything.
Anything non-basketball? Anything? You good?
Yeah, I think
All
everything
right.
is good. Yeah.
Anything about the league we need to fix or get better with?
Feedback.
Uh, what you say? Or
Feedback.
feedback? Or nah, I mean, for the most part, I think you guys improved a lot more from last season with, like, putting up the stats, keeping everybody updated with the page. So, you're moving in the right direction. So you
Okay.
can't really complain about anything right now. You guys are fixing everything.
Yeah. I'm trying to balance between football and basketball, so I'm getting a better handle
Nah,
of it.
yeah, I get
So,
it. It's a lot of work.
um,
So a busy dude, bro. So a busy dude.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, I see you,
Yeah.
man.
um,
Yeah.
yeah. So, Mo, final thoughts for this week or next week?
No,
I
man.
enjoy
I
it.
mean, look, we reviewed the games. Look like we got a good bracket coming up. Excited to see, what the results are, and just excited to see all the guys Sunday.
Yeah. Um, you know, you know me. I like to talk administrative stuff. Um, get your games in, 4 games. I don't want to hear no excuses. And like I told the captains, there's no exceptions to the rule. I don't care what
Mm.
happens. So get your 4 games in. Um, as an official, listen, don't cost your team a game. You know, it's okay to be emotional on the court, but there's a limit to it. Especially with the cursing. Um, the officials are not robots. We're human beings as well. We're trying to look at 10 players doing 10 different things. You know, um, so I've seen, and we're not perfect by any chance, but I like to think we're above average compared to other places, and there's always room for improvement, including myself. So, but in the end, it's a mutual respect between officials and players. So, you know, don't cost your team with the technical, sitting yourself out for 2 minutes and stuff like that. So that's all I got to say about that. But other than that, it's been a really good, great season. No issues overall.
Hmm.
You guys are very cooperative, which makes our job a lot easier. Um, and it's not going unnoticed either. You know. And actually, final thing, get your jerseys out of your bags and go wash them. I don't want to hear no excuses on Sunday. Oh, I left my jersey in the bag. It smells and I can't wear it. All right. Because you ain't wearing no other jerseys unless it's plain. Uh, yeah, that's about it, man. But thank you, Smiley, again for giving
Yeah, man.
us
Thank you
your
guys.
very
Hi,
precious time.
Brody.
Appreciate y'all for having me again.
I'll see you Sunday.
You're welcome back anytime.
Yes, sir.
Whenever
right,
you want to
man.
come on, you
Yeah.
let me know.
All right, sounds good, man. Appreciate
All
you.
right. All right,
All right.
guys. Have a good night. Yep. Have a good night.
All right, fellas.
Mo,
All
I'll
right.
see you
So,
Sunday, brother.
yes, sir.
All right,
Take
man.
care, guys. Have a
Have a
good
good
one.
one.